great pleasure that our sponsor presents for your approval, Miss Lily Durrell.
My life is a song, a beautiful song, a melody of mirth. It happened the day that love came my way. It's heaven on earth. The clouds that were gray all floated away and gave the blue its birth. One look in your
Well,
eyes,
are you satisfied?
I found the
I certainly am.
skies of heaven on earth. Now when I walk, I'm always walking around in a sea of
She has a nice voice. Indeed she has. I happen to know.
I'm always talking to no one but angels there. Since you came along and made life a song and all that it is worth, I knew that my heart would someday get smart. It's heaven on earth.
You were wonderful, darling. Just listen to that applause. You're in, darling, you're in.
Thank you, Lily Durrell, for a swell song. Now the band with a little blues offering. It's the current hit, Shoo Shoo Blues.
Oh, Mamie, I've been dreaming of this night so long that now that it's finally here, I just feel like screaming.
Go ahead, honey, cut loose. It's your night to howl.
I've never been so happy in all my life.
Well, you should be. With both of your feet on the ladder of success, and a man with $1 million begging you to marry him, what else could you ask for? Oh, come right in, Mr. Fowler.
Thank you. Lily, you're a great success. Are you happy about it?
Oh, too happy for words. And grateful, too, because you made it all possible. You know I appreciate everything you've done for me, don't you?
There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. You know.
I do. But I feel like a cheat because I'm taking everything from you and giving nothing in return.
But you're going to marry me, aren't you?
It all depends. What about your sister?
I have a great surprise for you. Eloise has given her unconditional approval of our marriage. I was hoping you'd be pleased to hear that.
Oh, I am pleased, Roland, believe me.
Only what?
Only I'm afraid I'm not worth it.
Lily, you're worth everything to me.
Oh, excuse me.
I know there are others waiting to congratulate you, so I'll be running along. And you won't forget our engagement for supper tonight, will you?
No, I won't.
Good.
Well, honey, you certainly got old Moneybags walking around in a daze. What'd you do, kiss him?
Oh, Moneybags. Oh, Mamie, such talk.
It's only a matter of speech. I never speak disrespectfully of wealth.
Mamie, do you think he's too old for me to marry?
Are you kidding? Of course not. Man is never too old if he's got plenty of dough.
Oh, Mamie.
Well, that's my honest opinion.
Oh, are you into this gentleman?
Okay, I'll tell him Lily doesn't live here anymore.
Oh, no. I do want to see him.
Okay, Mr. Wingate. Mr. Durrell will see you now.
Thank you.
Lily.
Hello, Jeffrey.
So I found you at last. Am I glad to see you?
It's nice to see you again.
You sang gloriously tonight.
Thank you.
Why did you run away from me?
I'd rather not talk about it now, Jeffrey, please.
But you must. Don't you think you at least owe me an explanation?
I owe you an explanation.
Yes. At one time you said you loved me, remember? Remember what you said? If I don't love you, I'm afraid I don't know what love is.
But that was before you gave me the bracelet.
Well, that's what had me baffled. You sent it back to me without a word of explanation. I thought you were pleased with it.
I sent it back to you?
Of course. You mailed it to my home, don't you remember? Well, what's the matter?
Oh, Jeffrey, I've done you a terrible injustice. Could you ever forgive me?
Forgive you? For what?
Well, I thought you had stolen the bracelet.
What in the world ever made you think that?
Well, the morning after you gave it to me, I read in the paper where there was a jewel robbery. And they mentioned a diamond bracelet, and...
Yes, go on.
Well, the place robbed was in the west end of the city, and... Well, that's where we went to get the bracelet.
But that was my home. I've been the subject of many uncomplimentary comparisons, but never before have I been suspected of being a jewel thief.
Don't rub it in. I'm sorry I'm such a silly fool.
You're not. You're the dearest girl in all the world. I love you, Lily. I want you to marry me. When you're finished here, Milo's taxi will be waiting out front. And I'll be waiting for you, darling, in our old rendezvous.
Hey, honey, what's the matter? Anything wrong? Who was that Apollo, anyway?
Oh, he was an old friend of mine.
Oh, I get it. None of my business, huh? Hello, you looking for someone?
Lily!
Jim!
I'm awfully glad to see you, Lily.
Oh, dear. Why didn't I learn how to sing?
What are you doing in town?
I sold a song to a music publisher, and I'm here to sign the contracts.
Oh, I told you you could do it.
I know you did. I haven't forgotten a thing you told me.
Well, how did you know where to find me?
I heard your broadcast over the hotel radio. It sounded great.
Thanks.
It was nice of you to sing my song.
I told you I would if I ever got the chance. By the way, do you think my singing's improved since the old days?
Oh, yes, a great deal. And now you're on the threshold of a great career. The thing you wanted most out of life. I have to hand it to you, Lily. You certainly had the courage and determination to see it through.
Thanks, Jim. And now I want to toss a bouquet at you.
At me? What for?
For improving the way you have. Why, you used to be awkward and shy and not sure of yourself at all.
I guess I have changed some. Thanks to you.
Thanks to me.
Yes. You gave me such a nice dressing down the night I asked you to marry me. I never forgot it. What you said hurt. The truth. My delusions of grandeur must have been amusing to you.
Don't, Jim. That's not true. If I hurt you, it was only because I wanted to see you make something of yourself.
Oh, don't misunderstand me. I'm grateful for that bowling out. It was the best thing that could have happened to me. After you left, I organized an orchestra and made my own arrangements. Lily, I'm going to have the best band in the country.
Oh, Jim, that's wonderful.
Well, I guess I better run along. Goodbye, and best of luck to you.
That goes double, Jim. And thank you for coming to see me. Oh, Jim, wait. I almost forgot. Mr. Palmer is having your song published, and he's going to send you the royalties. They all think it's a big hit.
That was thoughtful of you, Lily. But I gave that song to you.
I know you did. But I won't have it that way.
There's something you could do for me I'd appreciate more.
What, Jim?
Remember those walks we used to take in the moonlight? Well, if you're in the mood, and it won't interfere with any of your plans, I'll be waiting for you by the fountain at Olympia Park.
Lazy Mary, will you get up? Will you get up? Lazy Mary, will you get up? Will you get up this morning? Lazy Mary, will you get up? Will you get up? Lazy Mary, will you get up? Will you get up this morning?
This is the way I feel the strength, feel the strength, feel the strength. This is the way I feel the strength when I get up in the morning. This is the way we wash our face, wash our face, wash our face. This is the way we wash our face, so we'll be clean this morning. We're ready to eat, ready to eat, ready to eat. Now that we're dressed, we're ready to eat, ready to eat our breakfast.
Good morning, Mother Goodwin.
Good morning, Lily.
I've sung so much I'm all out of breath.
I suppose it does get tiresome, morning after morning.
Oh, I don't mind. Gives me good practice for developing my voice.
Oh, and it means so much to the children. Makes routine seem like play. It would break their hearts if you were ever to leave here.
Well, don't say that, Mother Goodwin. You see, I've already decided to leave.
Oh.
I've thought about it for months. I know the children will miss me, but I've got to think of my own future. And a singing career is all I want in this world. And now that I'm of age,
I know how you feel, dear. But you'd better tell Mrs. Prudy right away so she can make other arrangements. I know she's been counting on your staying.
All right. I'll tell her right away. You've always been so sweet and kind to me, Mother Goodwin. I hope you're not angry at my leaving.
Oh, no, dear. I hate to see you go. But I admire your courage, and I wish you the best of luck.
And I'll write you regularly.
Oh, yes, dear, I'll expect that. Because there will be times when you'll need advice. There are some people who will try to take advantage of your youth and inexperience.
Is life as difficult as all that?
Yes, dear. The safest way is to fall in love and marry a man worthy of you.
But I had my heart set on a vocal career.
Oh, Lily, marriage is the greatest career of all.
Then you advise me to forget all my plans?
No, dear. Just postpone them till you have the security of marriage. Then combine the two.
Oh.
A little going away present.
Oh, thanks.
If you need any more, you just write me.
I will.
Oh, I wish you didn't have to go tonight. It's 10 miles to town. Can't you wait till morning?
No, I couldn't bear to face the children. You'll make them understand why I couldn't tell them goodbye, won't you?
Of course I will, dear. Now come. No tears. Goodbye, dear. And God protect you.
I love you, Mother Goodwin.
What's the matter, babe? Sore tootsies?
Why, yes. May I ride with you?
Sure thing. Hop in.
Oh, thank you.
Where are you headed for? I said, where are you going?
Oh, well, nowhere in particular. Just any place where I can find a job.
You mean you're starting out at this time of the night to look for a job without knowing where?
Why, yes. Is there anything wrong with that?
Well, I'll say you've got a lot of spunk. What kind of a job are you looking for?
Well, I'll take most any kind. If I can earn enough to pay for vocal lessons. You see, someday I'm going to be a singer.
Oh, a canary, huh? Look, babe, take it from me, a woman's place is in the home. Now I'm going to let you in on something. You appeal to me, babe. By the way, what is your name?
Lily Durrell.
Mine's Joe Monroe, and I'm pleased to meet you, Lily.
Thank you. I'm glad to know you, Joe.
I think I'd better find you a job in my hometown where I can sort of look after you and protect you. I know. I'll have Gracie get you a job at the laundry.
Gracie.
My sister. She's forelady in the iron department.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You gonna wear your new dress at my dinner party tonight, Lily?
Yes, I am, Gracie.
Swell. When Joe sees how lovely you look in it, don't be surprised if he asks you to marry him.
Do you think so?
Well, I bet on it. Well, he's so nutty about you, Frank said he ran the truck off the road twice on their last trip. You could do a lot worse, Lily. Joe's steady and reliable.
Yes, I know.
And he'd bring his dough home, too, like Frank does, instead of spend it outside the family. And does he love cute? Well, don't let him forget dinner's at 7 o'clock.
All right, Gracie.
So the moron walked through the screen door and strained himself.
I want some more ice cream. More ice cream.
Don't do that, Willie. You should set a better example for your brothers.
Really ice cream. More ice cream. More ice
You kids, stop that infernal racket.
Do you want to wake up little Elmer?
cream. We ain't making any more noise in the radio.
Now, don't you be impudent, Willie. I'll take a stick to you. Soft pedal that radio, will you, Frank?
Yeah. Stop that pounding. You want to break them plates?
I told you you'd wake up Elmer. Mother, will you see to him?
Yes.
Come on, Joe. Give us another story.
Oh, you tell him. Well, it's your turn.
Oh, I can't tell them as good as you can.
Well, can't we go in the front room?
What for? It's more chummy sitting around the table.
Oh, Elmer's swollen so loud I can't hear myself think.
What's a little squalling? You two better get used to it, if you catch what I mean.
Let's do go in the front room. I want to hear Lily sing.
Yeah.
Now you're talking. Come on, Lily.
Oh, I'd rather not. I have a headache.
Oh, come on. Gracie will get you an aspirin.
No, please. I really don't feel like it.
Don't you feel good, baby?
No.
So that's why you've been so quiet all evening.
If you don't mind, I'd like to go home.
Well, of course we don't mind you, poor dear, but let me give you an aspirin before you go.
I'm sorry you feel bad, honey.
So am I. I'm sorry to break up the party.
Oh, forget it. We get all our lives to make whoopee and us four.
Gracie, hurry up with that aspirin.
Coming, I'm coming.
Thank you.
You ready to go, honey?
Yes, Joe. And Gracie, thank you for a lovely dinner.
And tell Mother I'll pick her up later, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Lily.
Darn those hiccups, I get them every time I eat cabbage. You feeling any better, honey?
Yes, a lot.
Then, let's sit out here and do a little spooning, huh?
Oh, well, not tonight, Joe. I'm just not in the mood.
But I've got something important to ask you. You must know I'm crazy about you. Will you marry me, honey? Will you, huh?
Please, Joe.
What's the matter, Lily?
Don't ask me tonight. I'd like to think about it. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay, baby.
Thanks, Joe. Good night.
Good night, honey.
Old lady,
Yes.
the cafe ain't open in the daytime.
Oh, but I have an appointment with Mr. Garfield.
Oh, that's different. We'll go right on in. You'll find him in his office upstairs.
Thank you.
Look, Anne, I'm too busy to talk to you any longer. You what? Now, don't get melodramatic. Well, good morning, Miss Durrell. Come right in.
Thank you.
So you'd like to sing in my nightclub, eh?
Yes, I would.
Well, if you can sing as sweet as you look, maybe we can arrange it. Why don't you sing something for me? The piano's over there. Like to have a little bourbon?
No, thank you. What would you like to have me sing, Mr. Garfield?
Oh, anything, my dear. Only don't be so formal. All of my entertainers call me Dude.
the clock, and then good night. One perfect hour with you. Once around the clock to hold you tight. One thrilling rendezvous. Time marches on, so be tender. This hour was meant for surrender. We can live a life in each tick-tock, just once around the clock.
Bravo, my dear. You have a very lovely voice.
Thank you.
Now, how about your wardrobe? You'll need several smart evening gowns.
Well, I'm afraid I haven't any that would do.
Well, don't let that worry you. I'll buy them for you. And you can pay me back out of your salary.
Oh.
Excuse me a moment, please. Anne, don't be absurd. Let's talk this thing over. We don't want any trouble.
And I am indeed pleased to hear that the new wing on the Home for Crippled Children has been completed and is ready for occupancy. As donor of the needed improvement, I shall be very glad to attend its dedication. But I'm sure that the handicapped children will appreciate ice cream and cake a lot more than any speech I might make. How would you like to accompany me to the dedication?
Why, I'd like to very much.
Splendid. You and I'll save the ice cream and cake. Well, Louise. Well, my dear. Welcome home.
It's good to be home, darling.
My dear, this is Miss Durrell, the young lady I mentioned in my letter. Miss Durrell, this is my sister.
I'm very pleased to meet you, Miss Palmer.
How do you do? I don't wonder you wrote to me about her, Roland. She's really very pretty. And you do get so much inspiration from a pretty face, don't you, darling? But I must warn you, my brother has reached the age where he's very susceptible to youthful charms, and he's apt to become romantic. Aren't you, Roland, darling?
Eloise, hi.
But don't let it worry you. He's really very harmless.
If you'll excuse me, please.
Eloise.
You should have been with us. We had the most wonderful time at the Harrington cocktail party just before I left. You know, I can't understand.
My dear, you have a very sweet voice, and it has much promise.
Thank you.
With intensive training, I could make a wonderful singer out of you.
Lily, I've engaged Signor Verdi to take charge of your vocal career.
Oh, but I just couldn't let you do that.
Why, you wouldn't be such a foolish girl to toss off an opportunity of a lifetime.
But it just isn't right for a girl to accept such a gift from her employer.
But you're taking the wrong point of view. What's the difference in Mr. Palmer as helping crippled children or as helping a fine young woman achieve success?
There is really no difference, Lily.
Not at all. Not at all. Well, you like to take your first lesson tomorrow night?
Well,
Fine, fine. I knew you would change your mind when you realize how important that is for you. Now, I must go. Remember, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Good night.
Good night. I just can't go through with it, Mr. Palmer. You'll have to tell Mr. Verdi.
But why not, my dear?
Why do you want to do this for me?
Because your happiness means a great deal to me. And because I've fallen in love with you, Lily. And if you don't mind, I'd like to hope that someday you'd care enough for me to become my wife.
Oh, please, Mr. Palmer,
And don't give it a thought now, my dear. Later on, after you've achieved your ambition, we'll discuss the subject more thoroughly. And you will keep the appointment with Signor Verdi, won't you?
Yes.
Thank you, my dear. Good night.
Good night. Oh, good evening, Miss Palmer. Won't you come in?
Thank you.
Won't you sit down?
Well, I really haven't much time. I'm sorry, my brother. He just left, didn't he?
Why, yes.
It was thoughtful of him to bring along Signor Verdi. You did arrange for lessons with the maestro, didn't you?
Why, yes, I did, but
You're rather charming, Miss Durrell, and I've no doubt you could be quite a remarkable singer. But your career is not my brother's responsibility. And if you have any idea that he's going to finance your musical education, you're greatly mistaken.
Oh, but it's you that's mistaken, Miss Palmer. You see,
Don't play the injured innocent with me. As an actress, you're not bad. You almost convinced me that you have no intention of tricking my brother into marrying you.
But that's not true. You've no right to say things like that.
No? Any sister has the right to prevent her brother from making a fool of himself. Roland has always been the kind of person who was easily captivated. But, my dear, you must realize a man in his position can't take these flirtations seriously.
But, Miss Palmer,
There's so many things to be considered. Education, background, family. By the way, Roland tells me you were brought up in an orphanage. Who were your parents, my dear? What were they?
How dare you talk to me like that? Get out of here. Leave me alone.
I was sure you'd rather not discuss it. Oh, by the way, how large shall I make your check?
What?
How much money will you take to get out of town permanently?
Get out of here.
Very well. I do wish you'd listen to reason. It would be so much simpler. As it is, I shall have to have you thoroughly investigated. Oh, you don't like the idea. Good night, Miss Durrell.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the cab was unoccupied.
Well, there's a possibility it'll be for hire any minute. Get right in.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Wingate, she said no. And she said she'd just as soon you didn't call again.
Where do you wish to go, miss?
To the bus station.
But, Mr. Wingate, you promised me I'd keep my date with my girl after I brought you up here.
But you wouldn't want me to miss my bus, would you, Milo?
Well, what am I going to do with these posies?
Give them to your girl.
Oh, thanks.
What are you running away from?
What makes you think I'm running away?
I know the symptoms. I've had several occasions to run away myself.
All right, I'm running away from trouble. So what?
I'd advise a cup of coffee to steady the nerves. Milo, stop at the Mandarin Cafe.
Yes, sir.
But I want to go to the bus station.
That might be just the wrong move. After I hear your story, I'll tell you what to do. You used good judgment in running away from Palmer and his meddlesome sister. But running away from a murder where you were the suspect, well, that's a horse of a different color.
But I was so frightened I didn't realize what an awful thing I was doing.
Naturally. You couldn't have been in a tighter spot if you'd been framed. Didn't you even get a glimpse of the pistol-packing gal?
No.
Well, didn't you write to your friend Mamie to find out what the score was?
No, I was afraid to.
Well, there's one thing sure. Curiosity will never get you in a jam.
You said you'd tell me what to do.
First, stop worrying. Second, we'll have to try and find you a new job. I'll give you a card of introduction to a friend of mine who has a cafe. If you can really sing, he might give you a job. I won't guarantee it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, don't thank me. You'll have to make good on your own. And don't think that every man you meet's going to fall for you like that fella Palmer.
Oh, I don't.
Good. Love's a lot of nonsense anyway. It's getting late. You have to find yourself a new home. So, come on.
Don't be sad, don't be blue, for love will come your way. Dry your tears and have no fears, and listen to me while I say, I saw it in the stars above. I know just what you're thinking of. I know your thoughts are all of love, and I predict you'll fall in love. I saw it in a crystal ball, the type of man for whom you'll fall. He's dark and handsome and he's tall, for I predict you'll fall in love. Much success and happiness I can see for you, but don't tempt fate or you'll be late. Make your love a permanent date. I saw it in a cup of tea, that love to you is a mystery, but soon you'll be the bride-to-be, for I predict you'll fall in love. I saw it in the crystal ball, the type of man for whom you'll fall. He's dark and handsome, but slightly bald. Still I predict you'll fall in love. The cards reveal that you adore that handsome mug, but his is gold. His wife is coming through the door, and I predict goodbye to love. The wise men of the ages past had wisdom that was vast, but love, it seems, was one of those dreams that always had them quite outclassed. I saw it in a cup of tea, that love to you is a mystery, but soon you'll be the bride-to-be, for I predict you'll fall in love.
Oh, Jeffrey, when did you get back in town?
About an hour ago.
Well, where have you been?
Oh, I had some time on my hands, so I paid a visit to a city where once upon a time a very lovely girl ran away from a murder.
Oh, well, don't keep me in suspense. Here, sit down and tell me all about it.
Well, it seems that the police were very provoked at the unknown girl who ran away until...
Until what?
Until the girl who actually shot Dude Garfield turned up to clear up the mystery.
Oh, Jeffrey, you're a peach. You can't imagine how much this means to me. Gosh, now I can sleep nights.
And so can I. You know, seeing you worry caused me to worry, too. By the way, you got a date with anyone tonight?
Now, let me see. No, I'm available.
May I see you home?
Uh-huh.
Well, I've got something very important to talk about.
Well, now you've aroused my curiosity.
Oh, it'll keep until I have your undivided attention.
Oh, it's like that, is it?
That's right. After you've sung goodnight to your public, we'll take a little ride, huh? I suppose there were a lot of fellows who wanted to take you home every night while I was away.
Oodles of them.
I was afraid of that.
Why?
Can't you guess?
No. Well, what are we stopping here for?
I want to get something for you.
But you never told me you had a home like this.
There are a lot of things I haven't told you. Let me have your flashlight, Milo.
Here you are.
The house has been closed for months and the electric current shut off. Better stick close to me so you don't trip over the furniture. This is the drawing room, what you can see of it. Here, sit down here, my dear. I'll go get what I came after. Only be a minute. Now for the important question I wanted to ask you.
Well, it's about time. I'm dying of curiosity.
Fibber, you know I'm madly in love with you. I want you to marry me, Lily. You're in love with me, too, aren't you?
Well, if I'm not, then I'm afraid I don't know what love is.
I'll spend the rest of my life making love to you. Here's your engagement present, darling.
Oh, Jeffrey, it's beautiful.
Well, that's Milo.
Milo?
Yes, he's wondering what's taking us so long.
Wouldn't he be surprised if he knew?
I doubt if he'd be surprised at anything. But we'd better go. He has a date with his girl.
Oh, officer.
Here I am, Miss Andrews. I guess I must have missed seeing you get off the bus. Lucky you saw our school sign on the station wagon. Oh, I'm Jim Lacey, one of the faculty, professor of music.
I'm glad to meet you, Mr. Lacey.
So am I. I mean, I'm glad to meet you. Shall we be on our way? Get right in, Miss Andrews.
Really, Mr. Lacey, I owe you an explanation. You see,
You left your purse in the bus station, miss.
Oh, I must be getting careless. Thank you very much.
Don't mention it. Glad to have been of service.
Say, it's fortunate for you some thief didn't find it.
Yes, it was.
Well, we better be on our way.
Tell me, how far is the school from the bus station?
About 10 miles, I should judge. Just a nice little hike for a physical culture teacher like you. I'd like it at the school, when you get used to Miss Wiggins.
Miss Wiggins?
Our principal. You corresponded with her.
Oh, yes, Miss Wiggins. Tell me, what sort of person is she?
Just like the letters she writes. Short and to the point. But a very able executive and teacher.
I'm beginning to be a little afraid.
Don't feel that way. Well, the school needs somebody young and up to date like you to teach physical education. Well, here we are.
The order for the new textbooks was sent in 3 weeks ago, Miss Wiggins.
Thank you, Miss Ellis. Come in.
Ladies, Miss Grace Andrews.
Welcome to Van Rensselaer, Miss Andrews. I'm Miss Wiggins.
How do you do, Miss Wiggins?
This is Miss Ellis, my assistant.
Welcome, Miss Andrews.
Thank you, Miss Ellis.
Mr. Lacey, would you be kind enough to show Miss Andrews to her room? It's number 4.
It'll be a pleasure.
After you've made yourself comfortable, Miss Andrews, I'll be delighted to show you around and introduce you to the other members of the faculty.
Thank you.
Regarding those new textbooks, Miss Ellis, I want to speak to you about them.
I hope you like it here, Miss Andrews.
Thank you.
This is your room. Well, I'll see you later.
All right. Well, how do you do, Miss Andrews? So you're the new physical culture teacher for the Van Rensselaer School for Girls. We all know the benefits to be derived from physical exercise. But in order to obtain those benefits, one must enjoy it. So I want you to perform the routine that I have shown you to the rhythm of music. All right, girls, get ready.
I want to congratulate you, Miss Andrews. I have never before seen such enthusiasm displayed in any of our gymnasium classes. And I must say, I've met one teacher whose personality and ability far exceed her letters of recommendation.
Why, thank you, Miss Wiggins.
Continue your class, Miss Andrews.
Oh, Miss Andrews. Going for a walk?
Why, yes.
Would you mind if I accompany you?
Why, no, not at all.
Thanks. Would you mind walking a bit slower? I'm not used to exercise like you are.
Sorry, I didn't think you'd tire so easily.
Guess I've let myself get out of condition.
Yes, you're pretty soft for a man of your age.
Funny, but I don't feel a bit tired anymore since my muscles got limbered up.
It's all on getting used to it.
You know, you've made a terrific hit with all the students. You're all they've been talking about since you gave them that physical culture lesson.
Let's talk about you for a while. I'm awfully tired of hearing about myself.
Well, I always feel self-conscious when I talk about myself. But I would like to know your impression of me.
Well, it's a bit too soon to form much of an impression, but I can't help wondering why a strapping big 6-footer like you would have chosen to be a music teacher when there's so many more important things in the world for a man to do.
I never considered that size had anything to do with determining a man's vocation.
Oh, you don't get what I mean.
What do you mean?
Well, I've always associated big men with big jobs, being leaders in their chosen fields. Now, how far do you ever expect to get by just being a music teacher? If you're interested in music, why don't you become an orchestra leader or a composer?
I have composed some music, but I never tried to do anything with it.
Well, what good is that going to do you?
You're right. You know, it was awfully nice of you to give me such constructive criticism. I guess I've been taking myself too much for granted.
Well, I could tell you a lot more, but it's getting late. Shall we start back to school? Oh, I could have gotten up all right, but thanks. Oh!
I'm sorry you twisted your ankle.
I'm sorry you had to carry me so far.
Oh, it was nothing. Maybe I ought to carry you upstairs.
Oh, no, I can make it all right from here. But I do want to thank you for being so gallant.
Oh, don't mention it. It was a pleasure. I mean, glad to be of service.
Maybe I could do something for you in return.
You can. Will you visit my music class someday? You have such good ideas, and maybe you can improve my teaching technique.
Well, I'd be glad to. Good night, Professor.
Good night. Oh, Miss Andrews, this letter you wrote to Miss Wiggins from New York came this afternoon. Guess there's no use giving it to her now that you're here.
Well, thank you.
Good night.
Good night. That's all for today, girls. Class dismissed.
Oh, Miss Andrews,
Yes, Jim?
I have something I want to show you. It's a song I've written.
Heaven on Earth. That's a cute title.
Do you really think so?
Well, I think it's swell.
Would you sing it over for me and tell me if you think it has any merit?
Why, I'd love to, Jim.
My life is a song, a beautiful song, a melody of mirth. It happened the day that love came my way. It's heaven on earth. The clouds that were gray all floated away and gave the blue its birth. One look in your eyes and I found the skies of heaven on earth. Now when I walk, I'm always walking around in a sea of air. And when I talk, I'm always talking to no one but angels there. Since you came along and made life a song, and all that it is worth, I knew that my heart would someday get smart. It's heaven on earth.
Why have you been concealing such a wonderful voice? You made my mediocre song sound beautiful.
Young man, when are you going to stop belittling yourself? Your song is beautiful.
Do you really mean that?
Why, you should be ashamed. Are you going to let an inferiority complex hold you back forever?
Why, no.
Well, that's better. What gave you the idea for the song?
You did?
I did.
Yes. You were my inspiration, Lily. I was thinking of you every minute while I was writing it.
I hope I'm not intruding, but there's a gentleman inquiring about you, Miss Andrews. He's waiting for you in the reception room.
Thank you, Miss Ellis. I'll go right over.
You better let me handle it, Lily. He may be a detective.
No, Jim. There's no use postponing it any longer. I'd rather get it over with.
Well, I'll be around in case you need me.
Thank you, Jim.
Lily, I've been hunting all over for you. Even hired detectives. Why did you run away?
You should know.
But Eloise never intended to carry out her threat. In fact, she's extremely sorry and wants to apologize.
I just don't want any more trouble. I've had enough.
I know. But I'd be the last person to cause you any. However, that's beside the point. I had a more important reason for wanting to find you. There's an opportunity for you to become soloist for one of our largest radio advertisers, which can mean national stardom. It's a chance of a lifetime, Lily. And it's yours for the taking, my dear. What do you say?
Well, it's too good to be true.
Then you'll accept?
I'd love to.
That's fine.
Well, this looks like the end of the road.
The end of everything for me, I guess.
Oh, don't be like that, Jim. Why, you should be glad at my getting such a wonderful opportunity.
I am glad. But I can't bear the thought of your going away. Of not seeing you every day.
Well, I'll be seeing you from time to time.
That isn't enough. I don't want to lose you. Don't you understand? I love you.
Oh, please, Jim. Please don't spoil everything.
I love you so much you're driving me crazy. I want to marry you, Lily. Will you?
I've enjoyed your friendship, Jim, and our pleasant companionship, but you're presuming a lot when you think that I'm in love with you. If I ever gave you that impression, I'm sorry, because I didn't mean to. Well, you don't think I'd give up a career for just love in a cottage with a music professor? Oh, Jim, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to. But you do want me to speak frankly, don't you?
Why, yes, of course.
And we can still be friends if you want to. And after I'm a success, why, I'll give your song recognition by singing it. And then you can reap all the financial benefits.
I gave that song to you. And I don't want to ever hear it again. Goodbye. Good luck, Lily.
That's very good. I'm glad you like it. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, Roland.
Good evening, my dear. Senor?
Senor?
Mr. Thorndike, it's so nice to see you again.
Thanks, Mr. Rell. How are you, Bertie?
How do you do?
George has set your debut for next week. All that remains now is to select the song you'll sing. Have you decided what you'd like to sing?
Yes, I have. It's a song called Heaven on Earth.
Sounds intriguing.
But it's an unpublished number by an unknown composer.
That makes no difference if it's good.
It has all the earmarks of a popular song hit.
It's just the kind of a song I want. Would you mind singing it for me?
Not at all.
It's a very catchy tune, but I thought you wanted something classical. Whatever gave you that idea? Something classical is just what I don't want.
My life is a song, a beautiful song, a melody of mirth. It happened the day that love came my way. It's heaven on earth. The clouds that were gray all floated away and gave the blue its birth. One look in your eyes and I found the skies of heaven on earth. Now when I walk, I'm always walking around in a sea of air. And when I talk, I'm always talking to no one but angels there. Since you came along and made life a song, and all that it is worth, I knew that my heart would someday get smart. It's heaven on
Hey, what are you doing, daydreaming? Have you forgotten Mr. Palmer's waiting for you? What a girl. It's a good thing you got little Mamie around. Come on, step on it, Miss Nightingale.
Okay, Grandma.
Now, look, darling, this is your night. Go out and have fun, will you?
That's what I'm going to do, Mamie.
Good.
Good evening, Mr. L.
Hello, Milo. Thank you, Milo.